What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to World of Art Form. This is season 2, episode 2. And on this episode, like every episode, I have a special guest with me here today. This person is art in motion personified, whether that's her actively participating in it herself through the use of dance, whether she's advocating for you to participate in it through her DJing and her mixing, or whether she's teaching people on this subject matter. She's a multi-hyphenate. She is an all-around talent. And I'm extremely glad for her to be able to bless this stage with me here, right now. So from the great state of Texas all the way to sunny California, it is my good friend, Bree. There you are. Bree, how's it going?
Hey Bryce, hey y'all, how are you?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. This feels like this was supposed to happen for a while now. So I'm really glad that the dots were able to connect here on this one.
Yes, most
Absolutely.
definitely. It's been some weeks and then months before that. So yeah,
Absolutely.
I'm
Absolutely. But
excited.
now's the time, and I'm really glad for it. And I think I kind of like queued it up a little bit, just kind of in the introduction.
Mm-hmm.
So much stuff to talk about, so many different angles,
You kind of
to
put in a
take
good
it.
word for me. You was
Or
talking spitting, yeah.
and look, and you know what? Because I kind of realized in the first interview that I when I brought everything back, I was like,
Uh-huh.
man, it's like I queued it up kind of weak as hell. So I was like, nah, I can't do that on the next go around. So it's like
I
I'm gonna
appreciate
start,
it.
yeah, I'm gonna start giving people their flowers on the front end, so that way people understand what it is that they're walking into, who they're getting ready to be introduced to. I feel like that's a very important aspect of things. So,
That
it
is,
was only right that was able to happen. But
thank you.
yeah, just kind of like, yeah, no problem. So it's kind of like I said, there's so much stuff to talk about. There's so many different angles that we can take this. And we were talking a little bit about this right before we started recording this,
Mm-hmm.
just some of your dance background, your dance history, starting from when you were 4 and the journey that it's taking you on now, still actively participating in it, whether it's freelancing or educating children on something that you love. I guess my first question with this is, what keeps you in motion, artistically speaking?
What keeps me in motion? Um, Definitely the passion for it. So yeah, I feel like that's my first motivating factor. Like I just have a genuine love for dance. I have a genuine love for music. So the fact that it's something that I really like to do, I like try to I'm very happy that God has made me a person who does like things that they like to do. So yeah, um the fact that I have a passion for it definitely is what keeps me moving.
When it comes to dance itself, is there something about it, the art of it, that you feel like you can't get anywhere else from another creative outlet? Is there something about dance that just feels very unique to you in your story compared to any other outlet?
I feel like for me personally, yes, it's the fact that so my mom put me in dance when I was like 4 years old because apparently from what I heard, because I don't really too much remember, but she said that like I was really shy and like she wanted me to break out of my shell. So she put me in like praise dance at church. And so like from that moment, it's always been something that like lets me express myself, or I guess, it's something that I've always felt comfortable with. So I'm pretty sure everybody has like their thing that they feel comfortable with. But for me, it's dance. And so I know that through dance, not only was I like, not only did I get to do like a bunch of cool shit, like I've experienced like a lot of cool things, but like I've also grown so much as a person through the art. So it's like for that reason alone, like not only do I like love dance, like I have a respect for it. So it's like, yeah, that's why it makes me feel that way.
And I was doing a little bit of eavesdropping, because I eavesdrop before I do all of my episodes, just
Hmm.
to try to make sure like I get a good understanding of what it is that I want to talk about. And I think having a little bit of background on your situation
Mm-hmm.
kind of helped me with it a lot too. It's just the fact that going through dance, getting started, a lot of it is getting getting a routine, getting a dance pattern, and then just kind of like executing to it from a choreography standpoint. You now having the chance to do choreograph yourself and haven't been able to do that for the last few years. I think you
Mm-hmm.
mentioned through college. And now it's just kind of like whatever freelance work that you do
Most
in
definitely.
terms of you being able to express exactly who you are. Talk
Mm-hmm.
to me a little bit about the choreography process for you and how for you it helps tell your story of Bree and who Bree is.
Interesting. Okay, I like the way you put that question because I feel like so when it comes to choreographing stuff for me or like creating anything in general, like I basically just like create from like I guess like things I'm inspired by. Like if it's just something that I want to do, like I'm just gonna do it, you know? Like if I think of like some cool shit and it's like, okay, I want to put this into like action, like that's where it all stems from. Like that's where like the choreograph choreo choreographic process starts. But I think that like very that reflects like who I am. Like I kind of just like do what the fuck I want to do. Can I curse?
Yes, yes. Say whatever the fuck you want to say.
Okay. So yeah, I think it's just like really like just who I am. Like I'm a person who like if I find some shit cool and like it inspires me to like want to do something, like I'm gonna try to put that whole together. So yeah, that's typically how the choreographic process starts. But so yeah, I'll figure out something I want to do, and then like I try to like I'm also like a very like organized, structured person. So like I typically like write things down and like plan out like exactly like what I need to do, how I need to like when I need to choreograph, when I need to teach it, when I need to get it filmed, put out, or whatever the project calls for. But yeah, I try to like put it down in writing, and then I just kind of get to it. When it comes to like dancing and like choreographing, that's a lot of me just like moving around in my room, moving around to music. Music is definitely one of those things that like some cool shit that inspires me. Like if I hear a cool song and it's like a visual will look really cool to this, like a dance visual will look really cool to it. You know, you just start choreographing, and then comes it starts definitely starts there. You get some people involved in it, start teaching it to other people if I want more than one person to be in it, and then shoot it, teach it, you know, whatever it calls for.
Right. So if we look at dance like we do any other art form or any conversation in general, where it's just like the person being able to, tell a story and hopefully the other person, is able to receive it. When you're going through like some of your dance routines and some of your choreography, what are some of the things that helps you get to the point where like certain actions that you do, certain movements that you make
Hmm.
are able to send certain signals to people to
Hmm.
fully understand you and fully understand like where you're coming from with your artwork.
I would definitely say that it's really about a feeling. Um, and recently, like I just told myself, like with DJing, like I don't want people to just like hear me. I want people to like see me and feel me, like through music. So yeah, I think it definitely like it's just a feeling. Like when I'm choreographing something, it's like, okay, yeah, this looks kind of cool, but sometimes it just don't feel right, you know. So you
Right.
keep playing around with it until like it feels right. Like it's like, okay, this looks fucking dope. Like this feels good. Like I've really been in a mood that I just really care about like how I truly genuinely feel.
Right.
So um I think doing that, like if I'm putting like my true genuine feelings into something, that's all you really can see like when you see it. And I just would hope for that experience to be enjoyable for whoever's watching. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
Absolutely. And I feel like from my side of things too, it's like I guess you could say like a consumer, but also it's like with certain things that I participate in as well. Like I feel like the feeling aspect of it is, I don't want to say it like goes under the radar, but for me, like that's the one thing that stands out for me more than anything when it
Mhm.
comes to me
Yeah.
um understanding where somebody's coming from, and I
Yeah.
pray like when I do certain things that it's the feeling that gravitates them towards the things that I can do too,
Mhm.
and the things that I can create too. So I
Yeah.
definitely understand where you're coming from right there. And I feel like for me, like the feeling is just everything,
Yeah, I can tell
like
that you're
that.
that type of person, and, unfortunately, a lot of people are not that way. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Because I some I don't know, maybe our words, like the things that we could do, like it can only I don't want to say it can only do so much, but
Yeah,
if the
I'm like that
feeling
too.
element,
I'm like that too because, like, I really like words. And, like, I wouldn't even say, like, I'm a words of affirmation type of person, but it's like, I really like words, and I really wish people would, like, always mean what they say, but that's just not the case all the time,
right?
unfortunately. So it really is, like, that true, genuine feeling, the actions and stuff behind it,
Yeah, yes, and it's something that you can't fake,
the
right? So
intention.
absolutely. You mentioned the DJing a little bit, and we're gonna get to the DJing in a second. But before we get to it, I want to talk about music's role in dance for you. It's like, and this can be like
Mhm,
post you getting into DJing, pre you getting into DJing.
mhm.
When it comes to dance for you, like what was the one thing that you felt like you've always understood, to be music's role in the dance routines, the dance choreography, and the overall output that you put out?
Um, so I wanna say, like, I feel like when I was dancing before, like, I was DJing, I feel like I never or maybe it was before I, like, started choreographing, like, in college, but it's like I didn't look too deep into the music, but I was always very appreciative of the music. Like, because like I said before college, when I was like just dancing and like not like actually choreographing and teaching so much, I was listening to like all the music like my teachers want to hear and stuff, and 9 times out of 10, like it was some pretty cool shit. So like you're always getting put on to like new cool shit. And so like you add some cool dance movements on top of it, like you have no choice but to like appreciate like, good music.
Right.
So I really do appreciate dance for doing that. And I will say also, like, I feel like dance, like I really love lyrics. And I feel like dance has a lot to do with that because a lot of times people are choreographing to lyrics and stuff like that. So sometimes there's pieces that like don't have no music behind it, it's just like words and stuff. So like I'm very appreciative of music and like lyrics, and I really feel like yeah, that's what pushed me into like the DJing, like my appreciation for music. And so yeah.
So the pushing you into DJing, pushing you into music, was was it more of an addition to your life, or was it more of a transition to your life, knowing
Mm,
that you already had dance
mm.
in the fold?
You asking all these questions, and I'm like, I needed this. First of all, I'm like, damn, I needed this because like I'm really like in a place in my life where I'm like kind of like what's next, and it's not what's next like in a bad way, but it's what's next like, and I can really do whatever the fuck I want to do.
Yeah.
But so yeah, addition or transition because I'm like up until now I probably would have always considered it like an addition because I really I do a pretty okay job of balancing the two, but like, of course, with DJing being so new, I feel like I've dedicated a lot of time to that, and because of that, it makes me feel like sometimes I put dance on the back burner, so it makes it feel like I'm adding more to my plate to where I can't, really, cater to everything as much as I want to, but also very much a transition. And I guess like I would think it's an addition, but like I'm trying to like perceive it as a transition because like
Mhm.
and not just the transition because like I feel like I will still like dance, like I'm going to still keep dancing, but like
Right.
the transition was pretty smooth, and I feel like I need to be appreciative of that. So yeah, maybe a
Do
little
you
bit of both.
do you believe in balance much?
That word has been haunting me this year.
Really?
Like that ass, yes. Like I try, I mean I do I mean, there will never be like an equal balance, and I'm
Right.
I understand that. Like I feel like
Right.
I understand that. So I try to balance things as much as I can. So yeah.
Because I asked that because I think personally for me,
Mhm.
I had to give up on the idea of it a long
Balance.
time ago. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
because I don't know, because it's so many things that you want to do.
Uh-huh.
There's only so much time to do it. Like I think I've gotten to the point in my life where balance is like it's simply me trying my absolute hardest for a day, and if it works,
Mhm.
cool. If it doesn't, I pray to God that there's tomorrow and we can
Yeah.
just learn from it and go from there. I think your experience
Well,
is
you saying you've
interesting.
always been like that?
Say what now?
I say you're saying that you've always been like that?
No, 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 no.
Okay.
No, I kind of had to learn
Mhm.
as I want to put a timetable on it. Like
Mhm.
maybe like 2 years ago was when I might have
Mhm.
started like having these feelings where
Okay.
it's just like, no, it's just like I just gotta do what I feel like I can do like in this moment. And if it works, cool. If it doesn't, we'll try again.
Yeah,
And
I'm tiptoeing into that, like,
right.
literally, which is crazy because, like, it's definitely something that I wish I would have, like, learned
But
earlier, but it's cool. You like,
right, but I can imagine it's so hard for you too, especially given the fact that these are, two
like
things that you love,
my babies.
right? Like you just said, like your
Yeah,
babies, right? So it's like something like it's hard to let go of something like, or
yeah,
maybe not even let go, but like feel like you're letting go of it
exactly.
at since you were the age of 4 and it's still
Yeah,
connecting with you in some capacity and in every capacity it seems like too. So I can imagine like from
I would hope, like, and I feel like because it affects me so much, I'm like, okay, I must still have a genuine passion for it,
yeah,
because I don't want to ever feel like I'm just doing it because like, okay, it's something I've always done. So I'm always trying to check to like make sure do I have a genuine passion for it? And I do. I still love dancing. So like why not still try to like keep doing that? Like, you've always done that. It's always made you
absolutely.
happy. So,
Absolutely. Have you been able to find connections between the two?
most definitely. Like so like when I'm DJing and stuff, like I said, I want people to like recently I've like decided like I don't know this like my mission or whatnot, but like so with DJing I want people to like hear me, like I want them to hear me, I want them to see me, and when I say see me, like okay, yeah, it's pretty girl, but like I like to dance, so like
Yeah,
we gonna dance, and like I dance kind of cool, so like maybe if I'm DJing, I might just do something that's just like aesthetically pleasing. I don't know, it makes you feel
right,
good.
right.
So I'm always dancing when I'm DJing. I say that to say I'm always dancing when I'm DJing. But yeah, and then outside of that, like I will like create these like audio mixes. And so sometimes within those audio mixes, I'll put like a song that I specifically like want to dance to. And so like I can use it not only as promo for the audio mix, but like who would like I can get like a really good like visual like some choreography off for it too. So it's like they have intertwined like so effortlessly, like it's crazy. So
That's beautiful. You
yeah,
mentioned people like when you're DJing, like
mhm,
you want them to feel you.
yeah,
I'm curious, knowing that you have the dance background, knowing that you have, motion is a very big thing for you.
mhm,
What does it feel like when like if you feel them, so it's like when they're feeling you, and they're responding to it because in my
yeah.
mind, like that's got to be like the ultimate, like
That's the goal. Like I feel like that's the goal in general. Like for people, for things to like connect and like connect in a genuinely happy, joyous way. So I mean, like if I'm playing music and I'm having a good time, and I see you having a good time, that I've already like felt like I've accomplished my goal. But like then we interacting with each other because I'm also like like I try to like interact with people, not only when I'm just like DJing, like so before DJing, like I mean, I like going out. Like I'm always going to parties. I'm always going out. So like I'm always dancing anyway. So it's like, not only just giving to the vibe, but being able to like curate a vibe and like feel that vibe like all together. Like it's a really special thing.
Right, because in my mind, in my mind, I'm just thinking like, just the amount of love, passion, and like an overall understanding of like what motion like can do and bring out of somebody. Like on your end, just kind of like being able to see something like as small as a head nod and somebody
Yeah.
like vibing to what you got going on, all the way to doing whatever the fuck it is people do in the middle of a dance floor, just going when wilding out. Like that has to be like some sort of,
It's crazy that you say that because like I'm not that type of bitch if I think in the middle of a dance circle, like just cause like that's just not my thing. But it's like also like there's that happy medium between like simple like pedestrian like movement that you like just something everyday people can do. Because low key,
right,
I think that everybody can dance. And even if you can't dance, I feel like you could be taught to dance.
right,
So like movement's cool. But then there's like a balance between like, some simple shit and then like actually being like knowing how to dance. So I feel like I can find like that happy medium that don't make people like feel crazy.
right.
But it's like, oh, it's a vibe.
What artists help you get there?
What artists,
Yeah,
as far as like music I'm hearing like in the club and stuff.
right.
Uh, let's see. That's a good question. Artists. See, in a club I be cutting up. so So I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes I like fucking raging and shit, but um, if I'm out, I surprisingly when I'm out, I like to hear a lot of Thug, and I'm really not like the huge Thug fan. But like I feel like
Yeah,
some Thug make you like vibe. You can do a little turn
yeah,
it up, but not nothing crazy.
yeah.
I like T Pain. T Pain makes you feel groovy, a little sexy and stuff. So yeah, I mean, I like any good music in the club for real, for real. Something I can dance to, you know.
Right.
Some music you can't get jiggy to everybody.
Not go David Days, but
You can't
it's
get jiggy
like
to everybody. And that's okay. Everything not meant to be danced
absolutely
to,
not everything is not meant to be jiggy.
Everything not meant to be
Not everything is meant to be jiggy, and that's okay.
That's
Who
okay.
who are the people that
I'm not gonna lie. I feel like recently, like because my little brother, like he throws events and stuff, but my little brother not like a dancing ass nigga, and he
yeah,
also DJs. So like people know like when they come to like their shit, like they're chilling, like they're vibing, like they just
right,
so I feel like being able to like curate like that dance vibe and like that or versus that chill, we can kind of group, we ain't gotta do too much. Like, yeah, it's definitely different ways to like spin it.
right. What artists help you when you're the one that's in control of the sounds for the night? Like who are
So,
some of like the essentials that you usually have?
so I'm not gonna lie, I feel like I always like to start my sets off with like some so like the beginning of the set, a lot of the events I've played, I've DJ'd like maybe the whole event. I don't know if
Right.
that happens too often, but like I guess it's something I should be happy that I'm learning how to do because that shit is very tiring. But I always like to start off my event. It's not too many people there. Um, I guess niggas would characterize it now. Like recently, I've figured out that niggas be characterizing it as I guess they always have, but like mumble rap. So I'm talking like Uzi, Cardi. Got to put some Pierre. Honestly, the only reason I mean I love Uzi and I love Cardi, but like I like to hear some Pierre and like everybody not on Pierre right now. So, you got to play it at the right times. And the beginning of a party is always the perfect time to play some Pierre or whatever. So I play like some Pierre, some Uzi. Also, like I feel like these songs specifically and like these artists have like some really good music that transition like really cool. So I get like some practice in the beginning, like just playing like, some of their shit. But it really depends on like what the vibe is for or like what the party's for, what I'm DJing for because 9 times out of 10, like if it's in my hands, I always start off like with some Uzi, Cardi, some Pierre, and then we'll do like some like not like some hip hop, I guess you would say. Let's see, maybe like some Ghana, maybe some Future, just some chill shit. People still coming in, but you hearing like cool shit that you like. It ain't overwhelming you. You gotta really like walk through the vibe. You feel me? Like if you were to come to a party from beginning to end, like what would you want to hear? Type shit. And during that time, maybe some R&B too. Like shit people can rock with and vibe with. And then like if we like really partying like that night, like around, like 12 o'clock, niggas start getting there, you start playing like your dance shit, at least for me, like some Texas shit, some twerk
Right.
music, if you want niggas to dance. Like I said, I'm gonna take a job. If you need me to DJ things, I'll DJ things, but I like to DJ shit where niggas gonna dance. So
Right.
yeah, some dance shit like for like that good hearty middle of the party. And then, bring it down, maybe some like island vibes, some groovy, a little maybe a couple Afro beats. I don't do too many, but throw in a few Afro beats and shit like that. Maybe end it out with some R&B. But yeah, I will definitely say that I play a variety of music. I will say that.
Right.
I
So,
would,
and I'm trying to figure out how I'm gonna ask this. So I think that I think the simplest way that I could do it is like, do
mhm,
you have like a preferred type of time, like when you are like
mhm,
in a set, like whether it's like, let's say like it's like a brunch situation going on
mhm.
versus like late night, like do you prefer one or the other, and if so, like why, when it comes to
Like
the
what you
type of mood, yeah, the type of mood that we're going for?
um I guess it really just depends on like what the vibe of the party is, in my opinion, because we can get jiggy at brunch or we can get jiggy at night. Like
Said it don't even
honestly,
matter too much.
so I was like, it really depends on like the vibe. But for example, like recently I just played like my little brother's like birthday party, and like we not about to be throwing that ass in front of like my parents and like my aunts and shit. So like it really
Right.
depends on like the vibe of the event. Like honestly, like actually was talking to a lady that I was a client I was working with a few weeks ago, and I was telling her like I'm just really like big about like the vibe. Like, how do you want this to go? Like, not necessarily like because DJs don't like requests. I don't like requests either. But like, especially if somebody's booking you for like their shit, try to make sure that like y'all's like visions are aligned. They give you a like parameter, and then you can like have creative freedom within that parameter. You feel me?
Right.
So yeah, I try to see what the vibe call for, and if it don't call for nothing, like for example, like Fusion, there's this event called Fusion that I DJ at, and like I feel like they really give me like a lot of creative freedom. So shit like that, like I be trying to test out everything, like see what niggas really fucking with.
Right. That's
Yeah,
awesome. That's
I
awesome.
love it.
Um, and I feel like I didn't even ask this to begin with. For
Mhm.
you, how long have you been DJing?
I have been DJing. I started at the beginning of January last year. So in January, it was a year that I had my DJ controller. So about a year and 3 months now. Year and
Nice. So a year and some change. How's it been for you?
year and some change. What'd you say?
I said, how's it been for you?
I feel like knowing that it's only been a year and some change, kind of like in a way, like I don't want to say discourages me because that's like very like heavy. It's not that deep, but like it's just kind of scary. But at the same time, like I know that year and some change has been like so like heaven sent, and it's been like so crazy. Like it's been quite an experience. But it's been an experience that's felt very right from the beginning. So keeping it pushing.
That's great. So tying it back to, everything that you've been doing, like before the DJing, when it
Hmm.
comes to back to the dance, um, you're also an educator, so could you talk to us a little bit about that and kind of the experience that you've had with that?
So I would say that I feel like I can categorize it in like two groups. So one is like me teaching adults, and then one is like me teaching kids. So when I graduated high school, I went to college. I became president of this dance organization called Front and Center. And so like at that point, I was teaching like, young adults. It's different. You I, you know, I basically had all the creative freedom I wanted in a way. In a way, they're adults. I can do whatever I really want to do as far as like what I can dance to, like the music I can dance to, the movement I can do. So like choreographing for like young adults, love it, love it. But recently, now that I moved to LA, I've been teaching at Debbie Allen and I teach at like elementary schools now. So it's definitely a change in pace for sure, like I feel like I always like nowadays, I guess I always say like I always find myself like teaching kids because I am, but like I feel like it also has like a large part to do with like my ultimate goal because ultimately I do want my own studio. So I guess I would need to know how to teach kids, but like I still like to say that I have creative freedom, but within like some parameters. So it's like a little challenge. But who don't like a good challenge? Like I'm sure there's
Absolutely.
PG shit I've wanted to create before.
Absolutely.
So I like
Absolutely.
to use them to do that.
So being a part of a child first artistic
Mhm,
journey, like being on the front end of that, I think
mhm,
education, I think this is the thing with education too, that makes it so pivotal, and that's something that I kind of want to talk about more on here
mhm.
um later on. But just like education and how the teachers that you have play such a pivotal role in
Yeah,
how we grow up, and in terms especially of confidence in the things that we proceed to do once we
mm,
leave that teacher, the things that we just drop altogether because of that teacher. For you, like, what are some of the things that like you really want your kids to hone in on as they go through this first part of this artistic journey, where for you it's like you started at 4,
yeah.
and obviously it's enough for you to like still be in around it
And that's
today.
that's something I should point out too. When I started at 4, I actually started praise dancing, and my mom was like the praise dance like captain. So I started
Mhm.
like dancing under my mom in a way, which is very interesting. Now that I think about it, but and maybe that could be a huge reason as to why I love it so much. It was something that we did together.
Right.
Aside from her, like I really gotta like shout out like my old dance instructors and like the people that I came up under because at the time I probably didn't see it as, like it was gonna be so helpful in the future, but like I really appreciate some of the people that I've dealt with in the past. So I know how to like deal with those people now, especially in like the dance industry. Industry is an interesting place. But I really appreciate like a lot of the people that like I came up under. So like I kind of want to take some of those lessons that they taught me to teach to the kids that I interact with. And so you have some teachers who are like very like gentle and like sometimes a little more playful and stuff. Everybody teaches in their own way. And some people teach in a way to me that I guess is very like kid like, I guess you would say. Because
Mhm.
they'll be like, oh yeah, they're just kids and blah 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 blah. I'm not that type of person, like, and I feel like that's why like a lot of the kids fuck with me so much. Granted, I'm only 24, like I'm not crazy older. I am older, but I'm not that much older. You feel me?
Yeah.
Compared to like some teachers, because I would say like I'm pretty young to be teaching and around. Like I'm probably the youngest one at my studio that teaches. But definitely being personable. Let's start there. Like letting kids know that you see them and that you like and that they see you. Like I feel like that's a very big first step to like teaching these kids because you got to like unlock that level of trust with them. Like they don't really know who you are. Like they got a whole bunch of other things going on in their mind. And honestly, like everybody who starts dancing right now not going to dance forever. So just knowing that like we're both humans here first of all.
Right.
And then yeah, like I just don't. I mean, yes, we're humans, but in that same breath, like whether you like really actually want to dance or not, we came into this space to dance. So like I'm going to teach you dance because I respect the art and you're gonna have to respect it when you're here. So like I'm not serious, but like you know, we gonna actually get to it. We came here to dance. We gonna dance. Not like I guess my older instructors had like a harder approach to like dance and stuff. So I kind of try to like teeter that and like understanding like it's a way to talk to people, because everybody ain't
Right.
talk to me the right way.
Mhm.
So yeah, being like not necessarily a hard ass, but also gentle. I feel like it's the best approach when like dealing with a kid just starting their artistic journey because they may not like to dance. They may like to do something else. And if I can at least help like guide those who want to dance, I feel like I did my job.
Right. So, and I kind of I want to flip the question now too, just because
Hmm.
I feel like kids. How's the best way that I can put this? They don't know what they don't know,
Yeah,
especially at such an early age. So it's
they
like
don't know what they don't know,
we,
but they think they know.
yeah, they
Yeah.
think they know, but they don't know what they don't know anything at all, right? And it's that's honestly such a beautiful space to be in
Yeah.
because you're free to do
Yeah.
whatever is just on your mind, so as we get older, for a lot of people that ends up changing,
Mhm.
so
That's
and
true.
and I think the goal is always to like go back to our child's self,
Yeah.
in terms of the things that we do, especially creatively, especially artistically, in terms of the freedom in which we do things and all these sort of things. So I want to flip the question and say, being around kids that young and knowing absolutely nothing, thinking they
Mhm.
know something, but they don't know anything, right?
Mhm.
For you, who, whether it is through dance, whether it's through your DJing or your mixing,
Mhm.
is there anything that they end up teaching you just from their, just like this ignorance is bliss approach?
Most definitely. I feel like from the get go, like I've always liked kids. So like the fact that I teach kids, I really have no problem with it because like, some people just can't work with kids. But I actually like kids. So being with that being said, like being around kids, I feel comfortable, I guess. It's not that they're kids, it's the fact that like I'm comfortable around anybody. So it's a lot that you can learn when you're not like feeling like you're
Out
like
of
higher
place.
than somebody or like
Yeah.
better than somebody, I guess you would say. I don't know. I guess I'm just like a kid at heart. Like obviously, like the animated shit behind me. Like I'm just a really big kid at heart. So I guess they just like guess in a way keep me young. But then again, I'm not that freaking old. So it's like
Right.
I'm still very much a kid at heart.
Right.
And I guess
Absolutely.
I'm allowed to do that or like be that when I'm around them and don't have to be so fucking like so fucking serious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I would just imagine like being around them. It's just a good reminder of that too.
Yeah. That's not really nothing's really that serious.
Yeah.
They're all like really playful and stuff, which is cool. Yeah, they've taught me a lot. They taught me patience. They taught me patience. So yeah.
Probably the biggest one more than anything, I'd imagine.
Yeah, but I'm also like a very patient person in general. Like
Good.
like I really do feel like I'm a kid at heart, like in a lot of
Yeah.
ways. So I feel like just being around them is just like not sharpening, but like sharpening my kid skills. Like
Right.
because yeah, like we all because kids like for the most part just have like pure intentions at that point of your life. You're doing on like what you want to do.
Yeah.
So yeah, just
Right. And I think sharpening our kid skills is something that all of us,
could do.
at any age, should be
Yeah,
looking to do
that's
more often, just how beneficial that it is. I'm gonna let you go here soon, but
true. Okay.
I think I have one more question here, really, and it's, we've talked about a lot in this time, whether it be you dancing, somebody else dancing, and you're teaching them, whether it be, you're DJing and mixing, all
Hmm.
these different things and all these different components. wrapping it all up together in a bow, like how would you just describe this artistic journey that you've been on lately with all of these different components working together, and how you talked about ultimately owning your own
Mhm.
dance studio, right? Like how do you view this season of your life in terms of helping you ultimately get to that point?
Um, I would first say that I would describe like my artistic journey as very heaven sent because I feel like everything just kind of has always happened how it's supposed to. Like I'm a firm believer in like things that happen how they're supposed to. And so like um with DJing coming in the picture, like it just felt very heaven sent, like from the beginning and even within like just this 1 year. So yeah, definitely would describe it as heaven sent. Yeah. Sorry, I
That's
forgot to
amazing.
another question. What was the second part of the question?
And in terms of your ultimate goal of
Uh-huh.
wanting to own a studio, run a dance studio,
Uh-huh.
how do you feel like this season is ultimately helping you?
So I feel like I ask myself that question every fucking day, but particularly like in this present moment, I can share that like like I was saying, like I feel like I have a lot of freedom right now, like to do literally whatever I want to do. So it's really like what part of it do I want to like tend to first, I guess. Like I feel like I want to like tend to it all and I will. And I guess like for right now that looks like with dance, I really want to get like back into like a lot of dance classes, maybe even teaching like my own dance classes. So and then there's so many projects I want to work on, like visuals and like mixes and stuff. So it really is a lot. Like I just really feel like in this really, I feel like in this huge space, basically. And so it's like, what do I want to do with this space? So that's definitely the season I'm in right now.
It sounds like a season of abundance to me. There we go.
There you go. And I think that's just maybe what it is, and I'm very appreciative of that.